Cookies, come on, have a seat. Let's talk. Let's talk. Okay, so in today's episode, y'all, I want to do a mid-year update. So, as some of y'all kind of know this, I intentionally started to do content creation in 2021. And really, it was because I simply shared a product that I was really into. The brand saw it, reached out, and then made me aware that people actually do this for a living and that this is something that I felt very connected to, especially when it just was the creation mode of it all, right? So I've been doing this since 2021. And at the beginning, I didn't really feel like I had a lot of friends within this space. I'm a small fry at this point. I didn't have much of a network. I didn't really know what was what, how to do all the things, just like any new role in a new career. Even if you studied for certain things. When I went to FIT, I studied merchandising management, but when I got into a buying role, a merchandising role, I felt like I knew nothing. So everything is all about the learning curve and experience. And at first, I had the same feelings and realities as anyone starting a whole new role in a completely new company with no colleagues or work wives or husbands. You know what I mean? I'm just going into this pretty fresh. And I did feel pretty sad about those things in the beginning because I've always been about community and teamwork. I love working with teams. And it felt pretty lonely just as a business owner of New Arba, but also as a new content creator in the New York City landscape of creators. And it felt like I was never going to be able to really build a tribe or create attraction to, what I wanted to share, but I just kept going. And, number one, as much as people ask me, how do you do all what you do? Or how do you become a content creator? And I'm not the only person that gets asked this, obviously. But, we're not joking when we say consistency is king. And getting that tunnel vision, that laser focus, and just keep doing the actions to get to your goal. You have to fight through those moments where you're not feeling so secure about yourself or you're not feeling like nothing's working. And it's like, what am I doing this for? You have to kind of fight through those moments and just get to the other side because it's very rewarding when you get to the other side. So again, I want to reiterate, consistency is really something that could trump talent, or an it factor. And I'm just being honest, some people, even in acting and entertainment, you see people who you're like, Taylor Swift, I don't know what kind of razzle dazzle that little girl have, but consistency is king. And she's literally a billionaire just off of her music work, nothing else. So gotta pay respect to the reality that consistency is a magic ingredient to success. Okay. Also, I learned that monetization has its ups and downs. In the beginning, really content creation should not be rooted in the fact that you want to make money out of it. You have to understand money will come. But in the very beginning, it's not going to be as instant or as much as you think it will be at first. Sometimes there's going to be months where it's really high. Like I've had high YouTube monetization months, and then months like last month, I'm just like, this is interesting. Why did it go backwards so much? So there's going to be those highs and lows, and you just have to prepare yourself for it and not count your chickens before they hatch type of thing. And you never know how many brand deals you're going to be able to get within a month. And a lot of times, most brand deals pay out anywhere from 30 to 90 days, which try to negotiate down from that to pay you out. So, and that's like from the date that you post it, not from the date that you pay a photographer or a videographer to do the content with you or for you, not from the moment of accepting or approving your content, from the date that you post the actual content. That's when your invoice is received. And from 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, 90 days on from there, you'll get paid. And sometimes some brands are late on payment, and it's a very uncomfortable conversation to have. Like, hey, we're outside of the net terms here. The date is now, you're 5 days behind on payment. When are you going to be able to fulfill this? That's a very uncomfortable conversation to have when you are in full creative mode and you're just having a blast getting to know the brand, and you're going to be like, oh, actually, where's my money? It's uncomfortable, but you have to have them. And you have to expect that not every company, as smooth as the transaction will go as far as the content creation direction or, dispelling the brief with you, it might be easy, smooth sailing and you really love the brand and the people behind it, but then their accounting department isn't as quick and smooth as your favorites on the team. So it makes for a very uncomfortable scenario, but you have to get past that. It's just like you are running your own business. You are a brand. You are a business. You are the personality. And at some point, you're not going to have a manager or someone to speak on your behalf. You're going to have to muster up throughout the discomfort and say, hey, just letting you know, I'm aware that you are actually late on paying me and I would like to close this out so we can move forward with potential opportunities. Money is funny, and you're not going to get paid millions of dollars out the bank unless you do. And listen, God blesses different situations, and I am not a hater, and I'm not going to sit here and say it's not possible. I'm just saying I'm rooted in just a realistic point of view because I've seen the really great months and then months that I'm just like, this is uncomfortable. Didn't prepare for this. So prepare for the worst, expect the best when it comes to money. Also, speaking of monetization, I'm thinking of switching this situation over to another platform because YouTube, I don't think, has paid me for our membership space. So I had to figure something out, and come to find out, someone did say that YouTube membership is not really the best place to do this type of business on, where you're teaching, you're doing education in a way. So let me know if you guys would be open to moving to another platform where these videos could live on, and we can also check in and do live streams and stuff like that. Let me know your thoughts on that, because when this is becoming your livelihood, you have to make the best decisions that basically in the long run do not stress you out. Because I am pumping out so much material, and it takes a lot of research, a lot of prep, a lot of planning, a lot of time, and then to come at the end of it and be like, wait, this doesn't financially make sense. It doesn't even out. It doesn't even put me in the green. Then you have to make different decisions. So Patreon app is one that I heard about. There's some other ones maybe you guys can suggest if you don't mind jumping off of this platform and going there, and you know what I'm saying? But between us, I'm just saying. Also, having an elevator pitch is really important because, you get invited to these events, right? And you're not getting paid to attend for the most part. Some people do. Some people get dressed by the brands. Some people get paid to show up. And that's lovely. Can't wait to get there and know more people that have that experience. But, when you go to these events, make it your business to find the people who are responsible for inviting you. So you're not always going to have direct contact with the brand members themselves. You might actually have contact with their PR representatives. So there are brands like, for instance, Timberland. Timberland doesn't do their own PR influencing work. They might have a very small team that does it, but for the most part, for bigger activations, they will hire an agency that is focused in PR and marketing to handle all those communications, relationships, and content creations for them. So even though the Timberland team members may not be there, I'm going to find the person who emailed me that invited me to this event for a gifting opportunity to experience the new products for the new season. And I'm going to shake their hand and thank them. And I'm going to offer myself and say, listen, I appreciate you inviting me to this event. I love this product. It's been part of my DNA coming up as a young person. I wore Timberland to school, blah, blah, blah. if there's ever an opportunity to do content creation or any type of creative work with you guys, please let me know. I love doing this type of stuff. I'll send you a video of this product that I'm wearing once I'm done. Some type of spiel that gives gratitude for the person of thinking of you for inviting you, but also to let them know you are willing to work, you are excited to do something with them, and you would be so happy and honored to do that. Make yourself available and say thank you. Gratitude goes a really long way. And fishing out the person in an email where it's probably like 7 of them doing emails at once, it makes them feel seen. It makes them feel appreciated because they are busting their ass doing a lot of work for these brands. So always find that person that invited you or someone that knows them. Give them thanks for what they do and tell them you are thoroughly available to do work when the opportunity arrives, and that you will send them something in the next few days to thank them again via email, but also to show them what you can do and to keep you on top of mind for anything else that they have coming up. Okay. Another thing that I think is important, introducing yourself to not just brand people, not just PR agencies, but to other creators. Go up to them. Say, hey, how you doing? What's your name? What kind of content do you do? Network is everything, because if you meet more people, then you create friendships. And we'll talk about how to navigate that, because there's some things that I've experienced or seen through other people's experiences that I do want to speak on. But I think it's so important to introduce yourself to other creators or even photographers or videographers and just getting to know them, because they might be invited to something in a couple of months down the line and you made such an impression on them that they were like, wait a minute, I know that girl Carolyn said that she loves movies. I'm going to invite her to come with me to be my +1 to this Netflix event. Literally, y'all, a lot of the events that I've been going to lately is because I'm someone else's +1. And once I get to a certain level and I get invites personally, and my people who took care of me, they're taken care of already by those brands, and I have a free extra +1, then I'm going to go behind and say, you come with me, or I'm going to take care of them right back. You know what I mean? And I think that it's simply because I introduce myself to people, I connected with them, I support their content or whatever they're doing, whatever they have going on. And I try to show up for others as much as I show up for myself. As long as it makes sense, as long as it feels natural, because don't nobody want you forcing no relationship. That feels very uncomfortable. It's like buttoning a top button on your pants that you know that one extra biscuit it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Can't force relationships, but you can always introduce yourself to see if there's a relationship to be had that feels good to you. Now, this may be a very sensitive thing that I'm going to talk about, because I feel like it triggers me to think about it, but I do want to be honest with you guys about something that I've sensed in these spaces of the creative and industry. It is such and y'all probably know, y'all could tell, but it is such a vain industry. And I've seen people who, I was at an event once and I'm with like a group of people that I've come to know, and, we enjoy each other, and other people who I think, there was this one girl, I felt like she was just starting out, and she ran up to one of my friends who she adores. And I could tell that my friend was kind of like put off by her, or just like not really open to her. And, presentation means a lot. And I felt that the girl, she looked a little discombobulated in overall appearance, just a little undone, just a little too high energy and on top of the person who already has hundreds of thousands of followers and probably has a lot of weird stuff that they experience, but a lot of energy. And I think that what I wished in that moment for that girl, that I could like just kind of take her aside and like tuck her shirt in, or like, take the nail polish that was chipping off just off for her, and, just kind of like, just pull it together, make it make sense so there's no distractions from your personality. And I wanted to say that because I feel like I've been that girl too, where I've gotten excited. I remember meeting an influencer. I'm not naming any names. And I don't really have like that much of a relationship with her, but I do find that she's definitely nicer to me now that I've been on the scene for the time that I have been. Because when I first met her, she was kind of nasty to me, but maybe I was a little bit too excited in her face. Maybe I was a little too close to her in her personal bubble. Maybe, I just didn't present as a serious person, as far as serious about the business, serious about the consistency that I have to show as a track record. I was like, I don't want to say it a certain way, but okay. I felt like I was a nobody in front of this person, and I felt sloppy, and I felt like I did too much after everything was over. And I wish someone would have pulled me aside and just been like, hey, take it down just a couple of notches, be normal. Just introduce yourself and like tuck your shirt in, or like you have a stain here, and I hate that it's like that, but it is a reality. I see how people respond to others that they don't know much about, that they're not used to seeing on the scene. And it's a pain point for me because I've been that person and I don't like seeing it for other people. And when my friend was experiencing this, not like fangirlism, but like someone was asking them for advice and like very excited, I wanted to like take that person aside, like, hey, let's put this bag down. You don't need this bag is hitting the other girl in the legs every time you talk, or like just having a little bit more awareness of just like being grounded in the presence of some of these people who you hold so high sometimes, and then you realize it's not worth holding them so high on the level of other human beings. I hope I make sense. At the end of the day, just make sure that your energy is grounded when you're in this space as a newbie, and that you realize people are just like you. They do not need to be put on a pedestal. The excitement can be a lot for someone, and you deserve that amount of excitement for yourself. So keep it there. And just like, do one look over so you can make sure that you're not fiddling with yourself, that you look uneasy, that you feel insecure. Make sure you don't feel insecure because it shows up. And this industry is not really gracious about that. Just not. And I really was like, oh my God, how am I going to say this? Because I see it. I felt it. I hate it. And I feel that I am very intentional about making sure I do not let anyone feel that energy from me, because I know how it can really put someone back a couple of months on putting themselves out there, and sometimes it's I've been set back a couple of months and then I came out, jumping out the gate on fire. Like sometimes maybe some people need a letdown for that upheaval, but some people cannot survive that. So make sure you're grounded in these spaces before you approach some of these people, because they're not always going to be the nicest or the most gracious to your spirit, your intentions. I hope I make sense. Because I don't like that stuff. Also, what I've realized is, as much as like we talked about pitching to different brands, different PR agencies, just so they can have eyes on you, right? I'm realizing, do not be shy about pitching yourself to agencies that can manage you, even if you're not at a certain amount of followers. This whole time, I thought that I would have to be like 100K at least on one platform, as far as following is concerned, to be even considered to be taken onto a management agency. I'm already having conversations with agencies, and I'm going to, and here's a couple standards to look out for when it comes to agency conversations. Some agencies do offer a trial period of 30 to 60 days so they can show you what they are made of. So then you can sign on to a 1 year or 2 year contract with them, where they do take a standard of 15 to 20% commission on all deals that they communicate on your behalf. So what I'm understanding, most agencies, when even you might have a great connection at an actual party in real life and a brand reaches out to your agency email, even though you created that relationship and they're following up, your agency or management takes over the communication and negotiation of what you're doing, and they still deserve a commission off of that. So 15 to 20% is standard. A trial period is standard across the board, and it's good because you get to see how they communicate. Are they really pitching for you? How fast are they responding to incoming emails or outbound situations? Are they there for you? Are they responsive? Are they positive feeling? All the vibes. You have to, really get through that trial period. Because I have a friend who, she did like a 60-day trial period last year with an agency, and she was like, oh my God, they're not even tapping into anything for me. Like, I see no emails going out. They really don't have the connections with the brands that I really want to have, and this is not a go for me. I'm just going to continue to manage myself, and that's fine. I find that I am getting to a point where communication with brands is starting to weigh heavier on me, and therefore sometimes I've been feeling like I don't want to do the content after communicating so much with certain brands, especially when I feel that they're a little fickle on what they want the content to look and feel like, and not giving a lot of room for creativity. That is very frustrating for me to deal with on a communication level, because I'm just like, you asked me to do this, you are okay with my rates, you want to do this with me. Now you're stifling with my creativity. You're stifling my creativity because you want me to give you an exact script. Once I'm with a piece of product that I really enjoy, anything can come up, and really that anything could actually be the selling ticket for what you want me to sell. Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't like having these conversations with these brands where I'm like, I'm not sure that you really want me to be creative. Like, it feels like you're not trying to let me be creative. And I rather management handle this for me. And I also rather management handle negotiation of rates and fees and getting my money when people are late. So, in another standard, like, the brand gets the money to your agency management company. They take their 20% and then they send the money to you. I'm trying to remember what other things are pretty standard to be aware of when you have these discussions, when the time is right for you to have discussions with agencies or management. They should be pitching you. They should be having those conversations. They should be keeping you in mind for other departments, as far as like, I would be in the fashion and beauty department of an agency, but I also want to be kept in mind for entertainment opportunities or hosting opportunities, lifestyle opportunities as well. That, that it feels that you are on their mind along with the rest of the roster, which is an interesting balance to witness. And I know going into these conversations with agencies and handling trial periods, I know that what I also want you to keep on top of mind is, while you might have an agency behind you and pitching and getting you deals, you also have to give the agency something to work with. Constant content, showing up in a professional manner to events, and building relationships, and asking them what else you can do, developing strategy around your content. Give them something to work with, so when they go to a brand, they say, I have this amazing creator, and these are all the examples of what she's capable of that I think she's a perfect fit for. So it's a two-way street. And that is something I'm fully expecting. I'm not expecting to put my feet up and relax and enjoy the ride of having an agency behind me. I'm actually feeling like I'm going into a new corporate role. I feel like I'm going back into corporate America with these conversations I'm having with agencies. So that's something I wanted to bring insight to. Another thing is, it's super important to note how you do your work. Like, if you have a certain way of editing your videos or content, you like a certain look to your images, or you have a way of filing your expenses. Note everything down on how you manage yourself as a business. So when it comes time to hire help, which I am nowhere near that level just yet, but I feel like it's going to happen this year, I am able to pass off my systems of work to someone who I am going to be paying, or someone internally, I'd rather pay, someone that's going to help manage a side of my business that I need to delegate. Because what I've learned seeing other people, people go through assistance. They're like, oh my God, like they're idiots. They're not doing anything right. These people are crazy. I'm like, are they crazy, or did you not give them enough information or a foundation and system to work off of? You got to give someone an opportunity to learn what you like and what you need and how to manage your brand baby. You're giving a lot of trust to someone, so it would behoove you to create an understanding of what exactly is it that you do to maintain your business yourself. Put it on paper so you can thoroughly explain what is to be done, what is to be expected, and how it can be done to have someone work for you, but also to create a really good work balance and respect. And you want to give someone the right tools to be successful. So I find that a lot of people who go through assistance is because they're not leading them correctly. And I think one of the steps that people miss is making sure that you are explaining what needs to be done in the way that you want it done, the time, all those things. You as a leader have to give someone the tools to be your assistant and to help manage your stuff. I'm sorry, my stomach growled. Anyway, just make note of all the things that you do, all the steps that you go through, write it down, pay attention, because it is going to be so much easier when it's time to pass off a portion of your business and day to day to someone who is not in your head. They cannot hear your thoughts. They do not know your intentions. You have to say it and write it down. So just be mindful of that as you're going through this journey. How you treat others in this space sets the tone for how you are received in this industry, or any industry really. And it defines your character. Sure, there's a healthy synergy of competition and lifting as you rise, but it pays socially and mentally to be a girl's girl, or just a friend to others, a supporter, a secret keeper, or overall someone else's business keeper. Like they tell you they tell you their business. Like keep what they told you to yourself. Keep that shit on the inside. They telling you their business, but it's not your business to tell others. Okay? Let it be told to you. Lock it in. Put it in the vault. Throw away the key. Forget the combo. All the things. Know who your energies are safe with. Who you can be vulnerable to versus who you cannot be vulnerable to. Who you can vent to versus not. Use discernment in all industries, because seldomly you will come across a person who doesn't know how to handle relationships for whatever reason, and will make themselves known for negativity. And you don't want relation or affiliation with that energy. Do good with do-gooders. And that's all I'm going to say. But it really pays socially, financially, mentally, all the things. Like, it just pays off in the long run. It feels better when you are a good friend to people, and when you listen to your first intuition in the very beginning. For the most part, I've had very good interactions. Yeah, there was one person that I was just like, oh, okay, that first time I told you all about. But even so, just a lot of circles, there's not a lot of energies where I feel like, ooh, no. But when I do feel it, the initial feeling like, oh, I'm going to stick with that. But always be cordial. Always be kind. But I'm not going to tell you my business. I'm not going to tell you too much. Because my initial instinct said, Molly, you in danger, girl. You know what I mean? Okay. So just want to put that out there. And lastly, my goals have changed, and I'm really happy for that. The reality is this industry changes all the time between, who they put up in the front, how they're paying people, the types of content that's coming out, what works, what doesn't work, what feels too salesy, who's invited to what. All kinds of things are changing in this industry on a day-to-day level. And I realized that nothing is promised, nothing is consistent besides your content and the flow of it, how you show up online as yourself. That should be the only consistent thing in such an inconsistent space. And I realized, while yes, I want to grow really well as a creator, I want to be recognized as a content creator, a digital curator of vibes, right? All that stuff, right? I do want to I want a big tribe. I love my community. I want to have merchandise with this community as well. I think that would be really cool. That would like connect us and have like our own secret members only jacket type of thing. You know what I'm talking about? We talked about this before, but I have other goals now. I want to expand my writing skills. I want to be a contributing writer to, I don't know, like even an Elle magazine who I used to work with. It would be so dope to write for Bazaar. Okay. Hosting panels, hosting shows, hosting red carpets. Yes, please. I want to do consulting, but less one-on-one and more brand development, because I find that a lot of stores, especially brick and mortar stores, like they need help. They need help for customer experience, and they also need help on managing employee experience as well. Because as much fun as I had in retail, I was a very miserable person as well. And I find a lot of people that are in retail, in stores, are not happy, but they love what they do at the same time. It's very strange. And I feel like there are some key factors that can change the dynamic of employees within that type of workspace. And I want to consult on that level. And I also want to consult on the development of products as well. I also want to solidify my position on the board with Bragg. I'm an alumni of Bragg. I've mentored the students through their journeys as interns, as students. I want to be a solidified board member that can help cultivate better experiences for them, to cultivate those relationships with different companies that they can work for and intern for, and eventually, once they graduate from school or whatever level that they are on, that they have a role with them. I want to be a part of that. I also want to teach at FIT. Okay. That's not a goal that's changed. I've actually always had that goal. I want to teach a class at FIT about the art of building connections and relationships, and basically like a class about confidence as a professional. Yes. I want to talk to FIT about this, but I want to be a teacher. I think it would be I love working with kids. I love working with students. The young people are so amazing. I just don't always get all their ways. Like Gen Zs are crazy, but I also love them. I obviously want to own my brands again. I feel I've lost touch with Noir Bud. I've lost touch with Indie 808, and I want to solidify those in a way that makes me feel good about it. And showing more of myself in movement, because there's beauty in the raw, scene and timely growth. And I just want to show a little bit more of the behind the scenes of everything that I do. Show up a little bit more differently online. And I don't mind if I would dabble back into acting. I've had several conversations about my old acting coaches and that life that I had when I was going into acting, when I was doing work in that field. I wouldn't mind if that happened again. I wouldn't mind. So, all in all, those are the updates. Those are the things that I want y'all to know about, that I'm learning on the fly, that I'm like, oh my God, why ain't nobody talking about this? Wanted to tell y'all about it. Can they I'm working. Anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure y'all had these notes down. And tell me, would y'all want me to talk about in the next month about what money looks like within this space, what I've experienced so far. Because let me tell you, I'm not at the level. Like I want to be like, I'm trying to have like a house built like Janae and Josh. I ain't there yet, but I'm trying, right? And I feel like I do have some notes on some financial stuff when it comes to working as a content creator. But also, like, do y'all want me to expand on the authenticity aspect, or, you know, the fine line of what to share, what not to share? Like, I have a lot of concepts about what every month is going to be about, but let me know in the comments what is something that you've been thinking about a lot when it comes to this space that you have more questions on. And we'll go from there. You let me know. I'll holler back. I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you, Cookies. Thank you, Cookies. I'll see y'all later. Okay, bye. It's a lot of noise. It's making me anxious. Okay, bye.